Hey guys, welcome back to Hilltop in the Valley. I'm Krista, and this video is specifically for those of you who are wanting to bake with einkorn flour. You're not really sure where to start and you don't want to get overwhelmed in the process. So there are those of you who are ready to dive in and go make the croissants and just get all dirty with it, but you can do that. This video is specifically for those who are not wanting to start something, feel overwhelmed, and then get fed up and just quit altogether. So today I am going to help you by giving you 4 different varieties of recipes you can start. These recipes are simple. They're good for people who are both beginning. They're also great recipes for everyday use, and so they're something that you are going to enjoy with your family on a daily basis. You could. And they're also something that generally you're not going to have a lot of problems with, and if you do have problems, it's generally an easy fix. All right, so first of all, if you are just starting with einkorn, you want to make something and you're not sure what to make, this is where I would first start. I would say go to cookies. Chocolate chip cookies is like the easiest thing to start with because we are generally familiar with chocolate chip cookies. Even those of us in the United States who are not heavy bakers, who do not make a lot of things around the kitchen, still know how to make chocolate chip cookies or have had some kind of experience with chocolate chip cookies. I do know some people have never done that, but it's just a higher percentage of people who are not familiar with baking just know chocolate chip cookies. I think maybe a lot of us have made them with our grandma or, with a friend or something like that, but it is familiar to us. And when we have familiarity, that makes our body not be on high alert. So when we're learning something, we don't have the extra stresses around us and our brain can think a lot more clearly. That's how I get my cookies to be softer in the middle and a little bit crunchy on the outside, is to take them out before they are completely cooked. This is a trick I learned over time. They are something that you can follow the recipe. If something goes wrong, it is generally because it doesn't have enough flour, and you can add a little bit more if they just spread out all over. Or, you can maybe take them out of the oven a little bit sooner. So it's usually an easy fix. And everybody likes them anyways, so pretty much you're going to use them. I should note that these ideas you don't have to do in sequence. Like, you don't have to do this one first and this one next, but any of these recipes I'm giving you are great to start out with. The next one is actually 2, but it has a category of its own, and I would say to go to the quick breads. Now, I pick quick breads for a couple of reasons. I don't want to just have you guys dive into doing sourdough or bread because people are often overwhelmed by those. If you were going to go to one of these, I would say first, biscuits are a great choice. Biscuits are great because they are a very straightforward recipe, very simple, and you can use them in dinner, you can save them and use them in breakfast. Everyone pretty much likes them, and honestly, biscuits are one of the top recipes on my website because people just love how flaky they turn out. And so I think that one would be a good start because people have such a good result with it, and it's very simple to make. It doesn't take a long time. It's just a good recipe altogether. Cookies we are very, very familiar with. This is one that we are not so familiar with because we usually buy it from a bakery, and that is scones. But what people don't realize is that scones are actually very easy to make. If you know how to make a biscuit, you can easily make a scone because it's a very similar recipe. The only difference is a little bit of the liquids. The scones have a little bit more sugar in them. But if you know how to cut the butter into small pieces, you could even, freeze the butter and then grate it in. I like to cut it myself. You can see how to do that in my tutorial for scones. But honestly, scones are a very simple recipe. They're quick, and when you take them out of the oven, let me tell you, you will think that you just became a professional baker because nobody makes scones. And I love to hear how good these turn out for people, because it's not something that people talk about a lot, is making scones, but they are actually really easy to make. Now, using the baking powder or baking soda is a great way to start with einkorn, because you can make so many different things and you don't have to worry about the yeast and the sourdough. We tend to be a little bit more comfortable with using baking soda and baking powder in our recipes, as we're more used to buying breads from the store. And so that's why I recommend especially these two. And I specifically say those two will love. They will just catapult you forward into making more einkorn things, because you'll gain confidence. All right, lastly, I want to say this one takes on several different recipes, but altogether it's just breakfast foods. Now, breakfast foods is another thing that we are more familiar with, and in our culture, even if we are not really big on doing a lot of baking, cooking in the kitchen, we tend to know how to make some of the breakfast foods a little bit more. Some people will get, waffle batter, or a waffle mix, and make a batter really easily with it, which honestly isn't that much different than just making up your own waffle mixture yourself. And so whether you're making waffles, you're making pancakes, or you're making a Dutch baby recipe, which is also extremely quick and simple, I just blend mine up in the blender and then I put it into an iron pan, toss it in the oven, and it's ready about 13 minutes later. No, I guess that one's like 17 minutes. But, they don't take a lot of hands-on time. And so you don't have to worry about doing very many things wrong. You're just mixing it up and then you're cooking it. It's also a form of a quick bread, I guess you could say, although the Dutch baby isn't. That one is just risen. That one, it uses eggs, it uses the flour and milk. That one is just great. I don't know. A Dutch baby is so fun in the oven to have. It's just warm and cozy. And I honestly never knew that I could do whole wheat einkorn and make it a good Dutch baby out of it. I never thought it would rise very well, but we love it. It did. It turned out great. So I definitely recommend doing the breakfast food. That said, having something on hand that you have made is also like a big win for you and gives you more confidence for the next thing you make, because you realize, wow, I did this. I can do more of this, and it will actually help me in the long run. And so that's another reason why I say do breakfast foods, because you can save them and they will help you in the long run. Okay, this video, I am not going to get into sourdough. I'm not going to get into yeast, but I do think that the things that I mentioned will totally get you off to a good start. I invite your questions and I invite your comments to tell me what you are making, what you have had success in, what has completely flopped and you don't get. Let me know in the comment box below. If you have not subscribed to the channel, would you please do that? And that way you can get the videos as they come out, and we can walk together on this journey of learning how to use einkorn. I love to do it in my own kitchen, and I love to share it with other people so that they can learn how to do it well in their own and have confidence using this amazing original wheat. Thank you for hanging out today. Hope this gives you some great encouragement in your kitchen, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.